it seems on the face of it that in the last few months there's been this spate of cases involving young men whose cases have collapsed. And more disturbingly, and your case was one of these, I think, where the police appear to have, either through incompetence or willful neglect, have withheld crucial evidence which may have led to the accused never actually ever being in a place of authority.
That boy who I was prosecuting could have gone to prison for 12 years and been on a sexual offences register all of his life. And what happened is that the two tests, is there anything that we have as prosecutors which undermines a prosecution case? I asked the officer, he says no. Anything that assists the defence, he says no. And then suddenly we find 40,000 texts, which I was told shouldn't be disclosed.
This was Liam Allen, who was 22.
Exactly.
And what the text did was they proved his innocence.
Absolutely.
So a fundamental thing. I mean, Gabrielle, to me, I've got 3 sons all around this age, right? 24, 20, nearly 21, 17. And it puts a chill in my bones when I read these stories about the terrible effect. This boy last week was at Oxford. He was 17 years old. He always denied it. And it turned out a diary turned up, which, by the look of it, would have exonerated him.
But the right to anonymity should not be based on procedural incompetence by the police or the Crown Prosecution Service. It is the police's job to collect the evidence. It is the CPS's job to review that evidence and provide evidence to the opposition under full disclosure.
Those boys will be shackled.
Under full disclosure. The problem is the Crown Prosecution Service takes too long to provide that evidence to the other side.
But I would say something else. In the case that you were involved in, Jerry, for example, it went further than that. Yes, the police were incompetent at best, right, and did not reveal crucial evidence which was sitting there. But the evidence was sitting there because this girl, this complainant, had told a pack of lies.
If it's a malicious prosecution or if it's a malicious allegation, where is the CPS reviewing that material now and bringing charges?
It is absolutely the issue. But Gabrielle, this is not the issue.
It is absolutely
just a moment.
Just a moment.
Jerry, sorry, can I just ask you to just let her finish her point?
The whole point of the court process is it will challenge whatever the police have revealed, whatever the CPS feel is the appropriate charge. That is the whole point of open and fair justice, that the defendant across all charges, all crimes are named. The victim position is not equal in a court of law.
I'm going to come to Jerry.
The victim is a mere witness.
But Gabrielle, let me just repeat that in this case it was very clear, Jerry, that this girl had lied, and the text which then emerged proved she had lied. On this issue of anonymity, the boy concerned, Liam, his name is now forever sullied with the word rape, right?
Yes.
Despite the fact the case collapsed, it was proven it was nonsense.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, the complainant, who clearly lied and was proven to have lied, she retains her anonymity. And in these specific cases, which we have to say are a very small number of cases, but they are ones that have a devastating effect on these... Gabrielle, wait a minute. Let Jerry answer the point. My point is this. There are sort of 2 issues here to me. One is the anonymity of all accused of rape. I'd like your view on that. But secondly, I'd like your view on whether, if somebody makes a false claim that is then proven by evidence to be a lie, and it could have led to somebody being
how small that number of claims is?
They happen. We know it happened because it happened in the case Jerry was involved with. When that happens, should their anonymity then be removed, and should they be named?
If they are accused of a criminal offence and they go before the court, they will lose their anonymity, and that's what is going to happen. But going back to anonymity, just a moment. Let's deal with anonymity. Just say you are accused falsely of a sexual offence. You'd be suspended from this programme. You'll never work in television again.
As well as we're seeing all over Hollywood.
Your wife would think differently of your friends would, your children.
That's true of any criminal offence.
No, it's not. There's nothing like the stigma, particularly offences with children.
I guarantee you, if Piers was accused of stealing something, he would be equally suspended.
No, he wouldn't.
He would have the equal impact on his life. Yes, he would.
OK, Jerry, as someone who is involved in these cases, I think the trouble for women is that this is giving an impression that in all these cases there is an epidemic of women lying about what's happened.
There's no evidence.
But the trouble is
no evidence
that what's happening is the police are letting all women down. And the CPS, if they're not meeting this threshold of evidence, it is...
That's another issue which is being dealt with by the Attorney General.
But there is a very small minority of cases where women make malicious claims, and those are prosecuted.
30 out of 6,000.
Can I just say one thing which I think is so important? There should be a presumption of anonymity, unless the prosecutor can persuade the judge, like in the War Boys case, that it's in the interests of justice that that person's name go forward.
Well, here's the problem, isn't it, Gabrielle?
That's the way
Here's where I totally subscribe to, I'm sure, what your view will be, which is the issue of anonymity of men in this position. Is that often, like Stuart Hall, I remember, for example, when their name is put up there, suddenly a lot of other women come forward. And I get that. It's the Jimmy Savile argument. It's a totally sound argument. But when you're these young men, how do we try and protect them from this kind of thing?
It's not protecting somebody on the basis of their age. The person who tried to rape me was 16 years old when his right arm came around my throat. Age has got absolutely nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter whether you're 16...
But that wasn't my question. My question was, how do you protect the rights of these young men who have actually turned out to have no case to answer?
That is exactly why the court process is there, to challenge that evidence.
How do you protect their name from being smeared forever?
It's not smeared forever. There is a bias against women who report. There is absolutely.
I would say...
How many people on juries think, oh, the woman had too much to drink that night, her skirt was too short, her tits were hanging out.
Look, I've been prosecuting these cases for 40 years. That's how it was in the 1980s. It is not there now.
It is absolutely, those prejudices
Jerry,
very much there.
What is inarguable? The conviction rate for rape in 2016 went up, going from 56.9% of cases brought to trial to 57. However, that is down on a peak of 63% in 2013. And here's the bleaker statistic. Of every alleged rape reported to police, only 7.5% result in conviction. That's another issue. Which is that clearly the rate of conviction based on the rate of complaints is, I would think, probably nowhere near high enough. Right? So there's a problem. There's a problem. What my issue with this whole issue about these cases collapsing is actually it makes it harder, not easier, for the women to be believed. If other women are coming forward and making fictitious claims.
I agree with you, and that's exactly what the Lord Chief Justice, former Lord Chief Justice, said the other day. It's undermining the system because the system is not working at the moment, and you are trashing young people. You're shackling them with all sorts of things.
You're not
they must
trashing
be protected.
Young people.
Yes, you are.
You are challenging the evidence, which is exactly the role you have in a court of law.
Paul Gambaccini, he's accused. He's been tarnished. Every time you think of Cliff Richard, who's a thoroughly decent person and been falsely accused, you think, oh, wasn't he that guy who was accused of... That is wrong, and it must be stopped.